When we started working with young men and fathers and talking about gender equality, we have saw that from the first year to the 1 decade of the project that we have learned a lot the need of engagement of men and fathers more than we thought that we knew. While working with men and fathers, we saw that how much they struggle to express themselves and be themselves in society, which where it is like a patriarchal system, and the society has different expectations for men to behave or act in society or towards other men or other women. And we have seen that this pressure actually has not allowed them to be themselves. And they always had to, in a way, to wear this mask to pretend they're strong and masculine when they go outside their homes, because there was this fear of showing fear, and they had to show always strength in order to protect the honor of the family. And we have seen that how much this harms them, because they are not being honest with themselves, they are not being honest with other people around them. And it's not the attitudes that they want to express, but there is attitudes that it is expected from them by society. And that's why we were trying to help them express emotions such as like love or like, happiness. At the same time realize that not everything should be dependent on them to keep the family and maintain or bring the goods in the family, but when duties are shared, there is a happiness in the families.
Ako pogledamo najrazvijenija društva na svetu, vidimo da baš u njima rodna ravnopravnost je najzastupljenija, što će reći da pored žena i muškarci imaju izuzetno veliku korist od rodne ravnopravnosti. Dakle, ako bih vas pitao sad da li biste radije živjeli u jednoj ultra razvijenoj Nemačkoj ili Velikoj Britaniji ili biste živjeli u Turkmenistanu, pretpostavljam uz dužno poštovanje Turkmenistancima da ćete da kažete, da ćete da navedete neku zapadnoevropsku zemlju, zato što je tamo blagostanje mnogo veće nego što je, na primjer, u jednom Turkmenistanu. I gle slučaja, gle čuda, upravo su te zapadnoevropske zemlje mnogo više imale korist i u njima u suštini postoji ta rodna ravnopravnost. I dakle, naučno je dokazano, nije ovo nešto sam sad izmislio, nego je naučno dokazano da zemlje u kojima postoji rodna ravnopravnost imaju veći ekonomski rast nego zemlje u kojima te rodne ravnopravnosti nema ili postoji samo u tragovima.
Having equal rights, equal opportunities, and end of the day, if a young woman chooses to be a household or like take care of the kids, be in the family, if that is by her choice, that's okay. Or if another man wants to support similar stereotypical profession, that's totally fine, as long as they are not obliged to do that, or as long as they have other options open in a way. So for me, it's like having equal right and equal access to education, to like in economy, in the family, in front of the law, like in safe spaces, walking freely, and basically being treated equally in a way. But choices depend on individual will.
Za mene rodna ravnopravnost kad umem sam da očistim kuću, da usisam, da počistim prašinu, da prostrem veš, da skuvam ručak. Međutim, ne znam da skuvam ručak, to i dalje ne znam, to radi supruga, ali eto, kako za kog muškarca? Znači, to treba da bude nešto jako praktično, dakle, obavljanje nekih kućnih poslova, ali pored toga ja bih naglasio i važnost da žene nasleđuju imovinu. Jer, na primjer, na Kosovu trenutno imamo tek neki 12-13% žena koje nasleđuju imovinu u porodici, što je drastično manje od bilo koje razvijene zemlje. Tako da mislim da je to neko praktično primenjivo sredstvo za rodnu ravnopravnost.
Not at all. I mean, we always have different cases of when it comes to like gender-based violence, gender-based discrimination. We still struggle with, which I would say, the most basic, fundamental issues we have in textbooks. Still discriminatory language towards young women, basically planting the seed of inferiority, and when it comes to men, making them more powerful and dominant in a way. So there is gender inequalities in every field, and that was one of the issues, because when you start to contribute to an equal society, sometimes you get lost because you don't know where to start. Like, I mean, what media promotes, what, again, I'm saying system of education promotes, what we see in parliament, what we see in business field, where like men are leading higher positions, numbers show themselves. So we see through the numbers like how there is this balance between men and women in not just in the Kosovo but in the Balkan region?
Nikako nisu ravnopravne, očigledno da nisu ravnopravne. Kad vidimo stopu femicida, odnosno ubistvo žena u porodici, očigledno je prvo da žene nisu ravnopravne. Druga stvar jeste ta što financijska zavisnost žena od muškarca u porodici je izuzetno velika. I ja bih naveo to kao dva glavna primjera zašto na Kosovu danas ne postoji rodna ravnopravnost.
I think, you have to use different ways and mechanisms to speed up the process when you know like it's for good cause. So hopefully we will come to a day where there shouldn't be a gender quota. But in the days that we are today, I think this was a progress, that it was said that they should have a gender quota, pushing political parties to have more women representatives leading different positions, and hopefully we will not be stuck with this 30%, but exceed. And we have saw that how this actually helped exceed these numbers. Again, as I said, I'm not a fan of numbers. I want to live in the world where people have choice and opportunities that they want to make on their own. But in cases like this, that as they say, if you don't have any other options, you have to push in different ways. Speed up the process of implementing laws. And we have laws in place, but sometimes the implementation takes longer. And that's why you have to organize campaigns, with the civil society organization and try to push more the whole system, and create a field where everybody can contribute and be treated equally.
A da li su brojke zaista važne? Za neke ljude jesu, za neke ljude nisu. Neki ljudi su podložni tim statističkim podacima, pa ih onda pogodite kad im kažete da je na Kosovu ubijeno toliko i toliko žena ove godine ili je pretučeno toliko žena, a kod drugih ljudi uopšte to ne igra nikakvu ulogu. Meni lično jesu važni jer je bitno da znamo te podatke kako bismo ustanovili da li rodna ravnopravnost postoji ili ne postoji. U našem slučaju očito ne postoji.
I think one of the things we always try to promote was to be themselves, and in that way they will find happiness. When we involve young men to talk about gender equality, we're not doing this as a favor to a woman. We're doing that too, but I'm saying they should keep thinking as well that this is needed for them as well. For their own sake, and to not see this as oh, I'm going there to help. It's part of our obligation. It's part of everyday life, and it should become a lifestyle that we should contribute to equal society.
Mislim da je pravo pitanje šta treba reći muškarcima, jer muškarci su oni koji su na pozicijama moći u društvu i oni su ti koji u 80% slučajeva mogu da donose odluke koje će da utiču pozitivno na muškarci i na žene, kad je u pitanju rodna ravnopravnost. I zato mislim da bi stvari trebalo postaviti tako da muškarci budu ti koji se zalažu za rodnu ravnopravnost i za prava žena, a ne da se žene zalažu za prava žena. Jer je jedna stvar kad ja kao muškarac ili neki drugi muškarac izađe u javnost i kaže da ja želim da moja žena i moja ćerka bude ravnopravna sa mnom i sa svojim vršnjacima, sa svojom okolinom, a druga je sasvim stvar ako to izađe i kaže žena. Jer ženu obično će da ni podaštavaju sami muškarci, nažalost.